Hello everyone and welcome. This is your PCL Power Rankings brought to you by Console Corner. My name is Blue and I'm sorry, I'm a little sick, or actually I'm coming off of a cold, so my voice is a little because my nose is still a little blocked, but I'm going to fight through this thing and try my best to, pronunciate and make sure everything is clear for you guys. This is the last power rankings of the very first season of PCL. It's been awesome, and I've enjoyed every moment of this season between the games, the players, the roster swaps, just all the excitement that has gone on. So here's your PCL power rankings. At number 1 is Flashpoint. They're still your number 1 team. They qualified first out of every region and division, so they just continued their dominance. They've 2-0'd every single week, and they've played the least amount of games possible. I think the only other team to do so is Team Viral, but they lost some of those, so they didn't dominate as well as Flashpoint. Vex Gaming's your number 2 team. They were actually the second team to qualify. They did it in week 5. We'll see them at HRX as well. Number 3 is Onslaught. They went up against Team Cryptic, formerly known as Kirsty's Hands, and wow, what a set. 2-1. Cryptic won game 1, and for sure I thought that they were going to be able to pull that dub out and go to LAN and upset Onslaught, who are your summer finals winners. So that was an exciting matchup. Loved seeing it. Unfortunately, Onslaught came out on top. So they're your number 3 team. Number 4 is Elevate. Now Elevate also was in a do or die situation going up against Oni Channers. Unfortunately, Oni Channers lost their best player, if not their best, but one of their best. Swiper the One, he has been served a 1-year suspension from Paladins Esports due to unforeseen circumstances. The link is on the Paladins Esports website if you haven't heard about that. We won't go any deeper into that subject, but they went up against Elevate. The winner would go to LAN. Now, if Elevate won 2-1, it is a best out of 3. If Elevate would have won 2-1, they would have had to play a best of 1 because they would have been tied in record win-loss and map win-loss at 5-1 and 11-3. So Elevate 2-0'd them, meaning they were your number 1 team. They're going to HRX. We'll see them there on the big stage as well. Number 5, Kirsty's Hands, because they gave Onslaught such a battle for that LAN qualifying spot. And I also believe Kirsty's Hands, or I'm sorry, Team Cryptic, is still the 5th best team in the world right now on console. Number 6 is Oni Channers. They brought in Richie, who played for Baldy Bunch. He switched over to join Oni Channers in the final week of the season to try and help them qualify and for himself as well. Unfortunately, putting him into the system so late in the season didn't really help them out, and they lost to Elevate. Now, if you put Swiper back in the lineup, I think that they are a top 4 team. With Richie, I only think they're top 6 as of right now. Number 7 is Radiant. They 2-0'd Team Viral in week 6. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to keep them in contention as Vex had already qualified, and I still believe they're the 7th best team on console. I love their lineup. I think their damages are superb, and I think that their healer really carries that team as well. Their front lines are just as good as their damages on that note as well. Number 8 is Cyclone. Since the aim settings, their hit scans Donka and their other damage, who's actually a 15-year-old rookie, Tito, has really stepped up. Them aim settings really increased their ability to out-damage their opponents and really play at a higher level. Unfortunately, they didn't qualify. It wasn't enough to stop Flashpoint, but I still think they're top 8 in the console. Number 9 is Viral. I think this roster's not young as in the players, time playing the game, because they're all veterans, but I think that they're a young team together with their chemistry. I think, they just need to work on some things. They brought in Fluxy after qualifiers to get into the league. He was on a different team. I think Fluxy was a big addition to them. Bizjop subbed for them 1 week. I think he's still a great player. The aim settings are updated, so maybe we'll see him return. Who knows? But I think Viral's the 9th best team right now. Number 10 is Brutal Fissure. I think this team had a little growth spurt at the beginning of the season, but now they've seemed to fall off towards the end. I don't think they were really up to date with the meta, especially after the aim settings. We tried to see them, or we saw them try to pull the Androxus out. They put Sir Benji on it. Now, Sir Benji is usually a frontline player. I guess he wants to move to the damage role, so that was a little wonky of the team as well. And there's been rumors going around that they're going to take Centurio and Itik from Cyclone, and Tariq and Culture will be dropped from the Brutal Fission roster, but that's just a rumor as of now. Stay tuned. We're keeping up to date with all that to make sure we can give you the proper roster swaps and all of that. At number 11 is Baldy Bunch. They finally got their first win. Unfortunately, it came in the last week. They lost Richie, who went to Oni Channers. They picked up Regan, who was on Happy Battle Cats. He was formerly on Press Y in qualifiers. He played for HBC for 2 weeks in the season, and then SoldierBot switched teams, and then Regan decided to step down from Happy Battle Cats as well, and then he joined Baldy Bunch for the final week, and they get their first win against Happy Battle Cats. And they are number 12 in the power rankings, and they've just had a lot of problems this season. At one point in time, they were in contention for the LAN qualifier. A long shot, but they were still in it. Unfortunately, SoldierBot leaving really put a damper on their team, and then Regan left as well. Moving He's Knessa to sub, and then he wanted to leave because he doesn't want to be a sub. It's been a wild ride for these players, but they're new to the scene. And besides SoldierBot and Regan, they're new to the scene. So I think that, Apathy Ace and Milka Cat are really a strong core for that team. I think if they can find some players or convince some of their players that they've played with to really buckle down, I think that they can make it into the second season of PCL and do even better than they did here. Number 13 is Game Over. They get their second win this season, both times against Warm Up. And Game Over brought in Fiery Impact, who was a free agent. He was on Thomas and Friends. Now, Fiery Impact is one of the best flank players and one of the best damages on PS4, let alone in the North American region. Unfortunately, he was playing frontline, and it seemed to work out for them fairly well. They 2-0'd Warm Up. OTP, unfortunately, getting 0-2'd. All season I've been talking about, this is a strong team. They've got two young players. They've got to get their chemistry right. They've got to figure out what they're doing right in the wins against the teams. They take a map off of Vex. They take a map off of Radiant. They have close games against Viral. Unfortunately, they go 0-6 this season. Naiju apparently has left the team to enter free agency. I think that's a big hit. It was already a big hit that they lost to Ninja Zen after week 1 of the season. But I think OTP really needs to buckle down with the 4 players that they still have. If they were to stay, find a 5th, and really build some chemistry within themselves. Another thing is, I think that Jay Tyloo really needs to deepen his champ pool. We've seen him play Cassie about 9 times out of 10 every time. Other than that, he'll play the Vivian. We really need to see him deepen his champ pool. If he can do that, then I think the team will expand in its draft as well. YCTG is number 15. 0-6, didn't really put up a fight against Flashpoint. They took a map off Cyclone once this season, took a map off Brutal Fissure once this season. That was about it. There's rumors that they haven't scrimmed in over a month, and that is not good. Unfortunately, I think the team is going to break up, but that's okay, because people tell me all the time, how do I get noticed? How do I get noticed? Do I just play a bunch of ranked? Well, no. What you do is you start a team like YCTG did. Then they play in the PCL like they did. And then, if you're going to break up, if you did something noticeable in the PCL, someone will notice you. And most notably, V-Clax. I think V-Clax was the best player on YCTG. I think he did a lot for that team. Don't get me wrong, there's some really good players and talented individuals on YCTG as well, but I just think V-Clax stood out. He was there every single week. He tried his hardest, and he played his role to the best of his ability there. At number 16 is Warm Up. Unfortunately, this team, showed me promise in qualifiers, but in the season they go 0-6. I think they took one map. They won one map the entire season. That was against Game Over in week 3. So they've got a lot of things to work on. I know they played, I think, 10 people in their roster. They brought in IQZ, they brought in Guiba, they brought in Topo Justice, Cirques as well. They brought in a lot of players, but most consistently, the two players that were there predominantly every single week was TKO and Garcia. I think if they stick together and they continue to grind together, I think that they can make a big difference. Another thing is that I don't think Business should be on damage. Yes, he had some decent stats in the damage department, but I really think Business is a frontline main by his nature, and I think that if you move him back to if you move Business back to the front line, I think you'll have a better chance at taking maps off of teams, maybe even game over, maybe even a top team as well. They did a lot of this, which they could have been doing. Now, I'm not saying don't let Business play damage at all, because they're already 0-4, 0-5 at the point where they start mixing up the roles. They're trying to see what else could work, what else someone could play, so I understand why they did this, and I applaud them for that. They know their season's over, so they just try and find new things, new strats, try and work on things, see if something else works, and I applaud that. Well, that's your PCL power rankings for the final week of the season. Congratulations to Flashpoint, Vex, Onslaught, and Elevate. I will see you guys at HRX. For those of you who are not traveling to HRX, you can always watch the HRX streams. It'll be on mixer.com/PaladinsGame, twitch.tv/PaladinsGame. It'll be on the Paladins Pro YouTube as well. It'll also be on live.skillshot.com as well. And I'm pretty sure it will be on the main high-res channel as well. They'll also have Smite there, Realm Royale. I hope they have Bot Smashers there again as well. And just an FYI, if you are going to HRX, come see me. Don't be afraid. If you want a picture, take a picture. If you want an autograph, which none of you probably will, but whatever. Just, come up, say hi, introduce yourself, whatever. I'm always down to meet new people, and I'm always excited to meet people in person. You guys see me on stream and in my videos. You see my face. You know what I look like, so you have to come find me. I just know you by your names online, on PSN, on Xbox, on the screen. I don't know what you guys look like. So, yeah. Stay tuned. We got some more content dropping. We'll be dropping a bunch of stats and everything. Yeah. Stay grinding, everybody.